The biggest impact on your career is not what programming language you choose or what game engine you end up with. It is something much more fundamental. It is your mindset in how you approach your journey to become a successful software developer. There are 6 essential and lifelong principles I want to share with you that get you from an overwhelmed and unsuccessful developer to a growing and successful developer. If you don't know me yet and ask yourself, who's this guy and why should I listen to him? My name is Dinesh. I'm a content creator, educator, and public speaker in the XR industry. I've been developing software in this field since 2016 now and bootstrapped my own company back in 2018, which is now profitable and everything. So we are teaching thousands of students worldwide and working with universities the latest and greatest XR tutorials, also working with like big names like Ready Player Me, Unity, Meta to bring the latest and greatest XR education to everyone here on YouTube as well. All right, let's get started. Principle number 1, focus on practice. Don't just consume content. Don't end up in tutorial hell. Don't start like 50 different Udemy courses and finish none of them. Really, you want to start building early, start building your own projects, develop your complexity of the projects further and further and further, and learn by doing instead of learn by consuming. You need the struggle, you need the uncertainty, you need this feeling of what the hell am I doing there? And most importantly, you need this huge release of dopamine when something works and you're like, oh my god, it works now. So that is the best developer feeling ever. And all of that stuff doesn't come when you just like follow tutorials all the time. It comes more when you actually build it yourself as well. Of course, here use some common sense. You don't want to never watch any tutorial, but I think you should be more mindful with it. Of course, in the very beginning, if you're just getting started, starting with a course like a free beginner course. I mean, we have free Unity course as well, having a basic C# understanding. But after that, after you have like the super fundamentals down, experiment a bit more rather than just consuming. So of course everything kind of comes with a common sense and using your brain as well, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. One thing that I constantly talk about all the time is the value of hackathons and game jams. It is crazy. For you who don't know what it is, it's basically you have a certain time limit. This can range from 7 to 8 hours, which I did a lot, up to a couple of days, which is usually the case, like 3 days, but also up to a week or more to build a small project. Usually it's a game jam, hackathon. You have like more general applications as well, but this kind of like super extreme case of building something in a few days or a few hours shapes your learning in such a way it's really hard to describe. But you also work with other people. You become so fast. You have the whole cycle actually of like building a game and pushing it out and everything in such a condensed time, and that is something that is also repeatable. When I started out, it's crazy. I went to dozens of game jams. We had this like Berlin mini jam in Berlin, and I went there like almost every week, and you had to build a game in like 7 or 8 hours, like in one day basically. And it's crazy how good it was. And of course, like Global Game Jam, I went there all the time, or like 4 or 5 times or so, where you had to build game in 3 days. I went to dozens of hackathons. I actually started organizing my own game jams and hackathons, and this is something that teaches you 10 times more than any degree or anything else actually. Again, when you apply for a job, nobody will ask you, hey, how many tutorials did you do? But they will ask you, hey, how many projects did you build? So of course, when you build these projects, have a good documentation on them, document your journey and build your portfolio as well. That is the nice benefit of actually having a practical focus rather than just consuming, because you actually build something, you build your portfolio, and that is your proof of competence. Embrace the chaos. Being a developer is pretty frustrating and chaotic and full of uncertainty. And also, most importantly, everybody always, not always, but most of the time, you feel like an imposter. You either feel like an imposter or you feel like God. It's just like these two usually all the time. So it's just like mentally draining, but it's something that can be extremely beneficial once you get over it, because then most people just give up too early. So I think it's extremely helpful to understand that being frustrated and being like uncertain and being anxious or whatever, or feeling like an imposter is totally normal. Most developers actually go talk to some of these developers. Most of them feel like it. So this is totally natural. This is totally fine. and get over the feeling, stretch your comfort zone, and just keep building, just keep learning, just keep documenting, and keep on doing these things that will follow in the later part of the video as well. To put it in one statement, you want to learn to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Learn to take hard challenges as opportunity to grow. And the most important skill that you need to develop as a developer is to become a freaking problem solver. This is the whole purpose of your existence. Being a problem solver and just like dealing with the shit and getting it out, solving it. Really, that is the core essential thing of being a developer. Not crying about that things don't work and like be like, oh no. Like if you are somebody, there's a problem and you solve it, you're amazing already. And the earlier you embrace this mindset, the better you will become. Principle number 3, keep improving every day. BTY, better than yesterday. This is actually one of our core philosophies at Immersive Insiders. It is the most important thing that we do every single day for every single video or any project, any code, any whatever we do, whatever we build, whatever we create, we always ask ourselves, how can we make it better the next time? Any little things such as improving the font, so the click-through rate of the video is like 0.2% higher, like just comparing dozens of different thumbnails, or increasing the average video duration by changing the intro like a little bit, like shaving 1 second here and there. All of these like tiny little improvements are what will make us great and what will make you great as well, especially as a developer. This is so crucial, and there's always something to improve in any area of your life and of your career. A good guideline that I like to follow for developers is every year when you look back at your code, you're like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell? What idiot did write this? Not because your code was shit back then. You did it at the best of your knowledge always. Like, you should always give your best work, but you should improve and grow so much that the gap, the difference, like looking 1 year back, is like, what the fuck is this shit? In a good way again. Like, I hope you know what I mean by that. But you just became so much better by improving, learning new skills, learning new software patterns, improving your documentation, having better solid principles and all of that stuff. There is like so much growth to becoming a developer. It's also like a never-ending skill. I mean, this goes for basically any skill, to be honest, in my personal opinion. So you never achieve like absolute mastery anyways. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You just keep growing and keep getting better all the time. But again, a good guideline to follow is when you look at your older projects, it's kind of like drawing. When you see like your old your first scribbles, when you start to learn draw and you see like the progression, you see like boom 1 year later, boom 5 years later, boom 10 years later. In drawing, it's like very visible for like non-drawing people, like for everybody. In coding, of course, like only developers see it really, but that should be like a guideline that you follow through. Just keep improving every little detail, or at least some minor aspect of it, whether it is the naming of your variables, the naming of your freaking git commit messages, or the way that you refactor your code, the way you learn shortcuts. Again, like, I could go on forever with that list, but having that mentality deep in your personality or in your workflow in your life is actually extremely helpful, which is why this is the #1 core philosophy of Immersive Insiders, BTY. Actually, I don't have it here. I have it actually written on my wallet also. Probably that would be a pretty good tattoo motif as well. So that is definitely something that I try to live by every single day, and that will only improve your life. Principle number 4, engage in community. Software development can be really lonely and isolating, but it doesn't have to be. Having peers and a community does not only make the journey of becoming a successful software developer much more fun, it is much more, it is also really essential for your career. Like, it's actually absolutely necessary. So please don't try to sleep on this. Try to have sparring partners, maybe again like some co-workers. Try to meet people online, on Discord servers, on forums, on LinkedIn. Try to meet people in person on meetups, hackathons, conferences, game jams, all of these things. In general, try to build a network of friends, peers, peers, mentors, mentees, and partners. You can go to local events, for example, like I told you already, hackathons and stuff like this. If there is none of them in your city, maybe it's actually also an interesting opportunity to build your own, because that is like the gold standard of becoming a networker, making your own events. So if that is something you're into, I mean, of course you need the personality for that. If that's not something you enjoy, don't do it. But if you think, hey, that could be pretty cool, do it. It's an amazing thing that you can do that is extremely beneficial for your career and just like for like your enjoyment of everything, because you bring these people together and you will be also connected to everybody. So that is also a valid option. But again, like online, LinkedIn, Discord, all of these things are helpful as well, and whatever suits you best. But again, try not to make it alone by yourself, isolated. I mean, that's kind of like the common image and the common theme of a developer.
You're just being in your cave and like coding all the time.
I mean, there is some element to that, but still having the social element to it as well is extremely helpful for your career, because again, you can learn from these people, you can teach, you learn best by teaching, you find the right network, you find the right people actually to get new jobs or whatever it is, and it just makes everything easier, more enjoyable and better. I have a lot more principles actually on my mind. Like when I started this script, the research, the list was much longer. I just wanted to cut it down to keep this video from getting super long, but definitely let me know if you like this kind of video and I will just make a follow-up on that. If you are interested in becoming a software developer in XR yourself and you don't know exactly where to start and you don't want to waste any time, you want to do it like efficient as possible, then definitely check out our free, absolutely free mini video course that we have that guides you through the steps that you need to become a successful developer in the most efficient way. We have been teaching this stuff for many years to many people already, and these are exactly the things that are essential that you must do. If you don't do them, you have a really hard time, and I think that kind of roadmap will help you a lot on your journey. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, I see you in the next one.